Hello everyone, welcome back to my 4-Star School YouTube channel. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about the state management in a Flutter, which is the GetX package. And it is the most liked package in PubDev. And I'm going to quickly guide you through what contained in this GetX. Basically, you contains route management, state management, and also the dependence management. So I will probably divide this entire series to 3 parts of the video. So in today's video, we are focused on route management. If you are new to my channel, feel free to reach out to my channel page and you will find a Flutter UI from scratch tutorial and Flutter tutorial for beginners and the Dart programming language tutorial. And also this series is Flutter state management tutorial. So I hope you'll learn and how to build a complete Flutter app from scratch. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. So first, let's open our Visual Studio Code, and here I write some code, and I will walk through those examples. And explain to you what it is and how you can use it. So first, we're going to talk about the route management in GetX. So in GetX, we have 2 types of route. So one is you can use navigation without like a name, and another one is a navigation with name. So we will first go to this. Let's open our emulator and Visual Studio Code. And as you see, we can use Get.to and we navigate to another route. In the Flutter, you can use a navigator of context, and .push, you push to a new route, right? So in GetX, you can simply just use this Get.to and you go to the next screen, so which is another a page in here. So for this first button, using this Get.to next page. So when I click, I will navigate to a new page, right? You will see in the new page, we will have the option to go back to previous page, because in here we use the Get.to, and you will see we also have this go back button in our app bar, because we are in the second of our navigation stack. So as you see, I dropped this picture, and here is our home page, and we're using the Get.to. So this is our route stack, and we are in the second place of our route stack. So if we're using Get.back, we will pop this stack out of this route stack, and we will back to our home. So this is we using Get.to, this one, Get.to to the next page, and we can use Get.back to back to our previous page. And also we have this Get.off. So what's different between Get.to and Get.off? And back to this image, if you're using the Get.off, so for example, if you are currently in your home route and you call this Get.off, so it basically will remove this home route and you navigate to this next page, right? So you don't have chance to go back to your previous route, because the home page already replaced by your current page. So for example, in here, we can back to our previous page, right? Because we're using Get.to, and if we're using this Get.off to the next page, you see we don't have any like a go back button on our app bar, and also we click this back button, it doesn't work, right? So in this back button, we simply just call this get back function, but it didn't work because you see this image, and our currently route is in the first place on our route stack. And so what's the Get.off.all? So the Get.off.all is, for example, currently you are in the home route, right? So you're using Get.to, and you push this route stack, and you call this Get.to again, right? So currently you are in the third place in this route stack, and you call this Get.off. You will remove this Get.to, these two routes. So you currently will replace this entire route stack with your currently route, like this image. Those three will be removed, right? And your home page will be replaced with the currently page. So that's the difference between the Get.off.all and Get.off. So next we're going to look into what's the attribute inside this Get.to method. Right. So that's back to Visual Studio Code, and you see here we're using another widget function instead of widget, right? And you see the Mindmap, we're using this Get.to, and we're passing this next screen widget. So we navigate to next screen page, right? So the reason here I use this widget function, because using widget function is instead of widget, so fully guarantees the widget, and it is a controller will be removed from the memory when they are no longer used. So highly recommend you using this approach. And also for this Get.to, we have another attribute, for example, the transition. So if you comment out the transition, so by default, when you navigate to the other page, sorry, we need to restart this application. When you navigate to the other page, by default, you will pop from bottom to top, right? You see, the new page will start from bottom to top. So we can make it slowly. So we set this duration to 1 second. So when I click this Get.to, you'll see our page is from bottom to top, and we can change the transition. So here, and I define the transition to right to left. So I save it, and when I click this button again, you'll see our next page will show from right to left, right? So we can set these transition. So another one is we can set these curves. So what's the curve? The curve is some animation you can use to control the behavior. So for example, we have a lot of curves animation, and here I'm using the ease-in out. So let's see this one. So it will slow at first and faster at the end, and you see we have a different kind of curves, and you can try different ones and to see which one meet your requirement. So back to our Mindmap, and after that we have another attribute which is called argument. So for the argument, and the argument can be used both in this without named route and also the named route. So the argument existing in both routes. However, the parameter, so the parameter only existing in the named route. So we'll talk this argument first. And back to Visual Studio Code. For this, we parsing the argument. So when you move your mouse, you will see the argument actually accept this dynamic type. So it can be anything. So you can pass like list or map, and even now it's allowed. So let's see. And here we passing the data to our next page, right? So the argument will be hello world from Get.to. So, and let's check our next screen page. So in the next screen page, we're using these Get.arguments to get these argument back. So let's save. And when I click this one, you will see we will receive argument, which is hello world from Get.to, right? So for example, if we comment out this one and we save it, and we back to our previous page and click again, we will see a noun, because we didn't pass anything. So if you didn't pass anything, so by default it will be none. Another thing you need to notice is we actually can return some data back to our previous page. So for example, when I click this Get.to, so I using this await keyword, make this on-press asynchronized, because I'm waiting for the data which from the next screen page. And you'll see in this Get.back, we have this result attribute. So I pass this string like a success to indicate we success in payment or something, or login in our second page. So this result actually receive a string type. So you can pass this one and back to previous page. So in here I will receive this success. So let's open our terminal and let's see. I navigate to our second page. Let's go on command out route transition. And when I click this Get.to next screen, and I pass the argument to the next screen, and when I back, I will have this success indicate those operation success, right? Because I return this success in this Get.back. Another one is this close overflow inside this .back. So by default it's false, right? Suppose you have a lot of dialog or snack bar or button shape you want to close before you navigate to the other page, right? So if you set this to true, you call this Get.back, and you will close all the overlayers, right? So let's back to this diagram, and we finish this argument in both routes. So next we will talk about the name route. So let's back to Visual Studio Code, and the name route means you have a name, right? You give this route name. You're using this Get.to name, and this name will link to the next screen, right? And you will have a, for example, you must wrap everything inside your Get Material app. So for example, when you use this library, and first you click this installing tab. So you add this dependence like this. So in your pub/spc YAML file, you add this dependence, and then you're going to add this library, right? Import this package get in the library, and next is you need to wrap your application inside this Get Material app. So before Get Material app, we're using like a normal Material app. However, if you want to use those route management, state management in this GetX, you must change your Material app to Get Material app, right? So inside this Get Material app, we have something a different attribute. For example, this Get Pages. So the Get Page is kind of like a route map. So you have this route name, and you map to this page. So when I call this Get.to name with our name, so you will see we'll get to the next screen. So I think this should be, sorry, I make a mistake. This should be a name route. It should be the next page, right? I'll send for those as well. Okay, so this is using the name route. So we have this home route which indicate we are in our navigation page. So we have /next route indicate we are in a next screen page, right? So for example, when I click this Get.to name to the next screen, I will navigate to next screen. So you'll see here, in here we're using Get.to name, and so let's see, we will go to the next route, and also we have an option to go back to previous route because we're using this Get.to, right? You can also use Get.off named route, but when you're using this Get.off name, and you don't have chance to go back to previous route. So for example, when I click this one, I don't have chance to go back to previous route. And we can check this diagram again. So if you're using the Get.to, so you have chance to go back to your previous page. So if you're using the Get.off or Get.off name, so you will replace your currently route with those route. And however, if you're using Get.offAll and Get.offAll name, so you will clear all the route stack and only keep these currently route in your route stack. And also, as you see, the argument works in both routes. So for example, I have argument in this Get.to, right? We have argument, and also we have argument in this Get.off, and we have argument in this Get.to name and Get.off name. So argument actually exist in the both routes, and however the parameter only exists in the name routes. I'm going to show you how to use this parameter in the name route. If you're trying to use the parameter in your name route, you will see we have this route table, right? And we specify this route. So for example, if you are trying to use the parameter, you have two different type of approach. So the first one is you using this quotation mark, and you append your key and value in your URL. So after that, you're using this Get.parameters ID or name, so you can get those 1, 2, 3 and this razor, which is my name, and in your second page, right? And another way is you're using this symbol. So the ID here is actually a placeholder, so you will map to this 1, 2, 3. So you can also get this ID by this 1, 2, 3, right? So this one is what you write in your like a route mapping. For example, here, so you slash your ID, right? So this and here, and so for here you have a Get.to, right? So you have Get.to name, and you slash 1, 2, 3, and in this way it will actually map this ID to this 1, 2, 3. So we can save in this case and go to our next screen, and we're going to get these data. I think it's called parameter, right? Parameters, and we can access our ID. So let's save, and I need to restart. So here I think using this Get.to name, right? So you see we have this Get.to name, and which is 1, 2, 3. So let's save. We actually map this ID, so with our 1, 2, 3. So okay, maybe I need to refresh. Oh, sorry, I changed in the wrong place, and it should be here as well. So let's save again, and we're using this Get.to name, 1, 2, 3, and I click this one, you will see we have a argument would be 1, 2, 3. Actually, this should be parameters. Okay, so let's save. So you see, we actually retrieve this ID because we're using this placeholder for our ID, right? So another way, you just using this normal, you remove the placeholder and you're using another approach, which you append the ID, right, equal to 1, 2, 3. And in this case, you can also get this ID. So let's place here and here. We go back to previous page and we save. When I click this Get.to Named, you'll see we can also get this parameter ID, right? So there are two approaches we can get these parameter. If you have some knowledge in web, so you will know those. Also, if you have multiple parameter you need to pass into your route, so you can actually create a parameter variable. You store this into a map, so you just pass this entire map to this parameter attribute. So you see, when I move your mouse in this Get.to, we have this parameters attribute which receive this map object, right? So you could do this way as well. So the last one I want to talk is we can have a middleware in our GetX, which is this routing callback attribute in our GetX material app. So in here, so inside our Get Material app, we have another attribute called routing callback. So we will receive this routing object, and you can check if routing currently if equals to the next route. So for example, if I want to open the advertisement in our next route, so we could using this callback. So for example, watch my console. So when I go to our next route, okay, the reason we didn't print out this statement because we actually navigate to a very specific route. So we could delete this parameter, right? And we try again. So we delete those parameters and we save again. So this time when I click this Get.to Named, we will see this open ads in our console. So let's clear it and click this Get.to, right? You see we have this open ads, right? Because this route actually map with match this slash next route. So you can add some like a listener or any callback inside this routing callback to do your own business logic. So I think that's all for today's lesson. I hope you will have a clear understanding for the route management in this GetX. So for the next video, I'm going to consider for those state management and dependence management. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, so thumb up my content and open the notification so you won't miss out the latest Flutter tutorial. Okay guys, thank you for watching. I will see you in next video.